my God. When I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe display. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou
Welcome to the 2022 Duty to God Report. Thank you for joining us. We've missed you since we last met in person in 2019. I'm Don Dare, a member of the National Religious Relationships Committee and a volunteer from the Great Smoky Mountain Council in Knoxville, Tennessee. We thank the LDS group Eclipse 6 for helping to open this special video presentation. We thank you for watching to help celebrate our duty to God. Faith in God is one of the founding cornerstones of the Boy Scouts of America. Duty to God has been a part of the BSA from the start. The founder of Scouting, Lord Baden-Powell, said every Scout, regardless of what faith they are, should have a religion. In the BSA, we pledge to uphold our religious duties and respect the convictions and customs of others different from our own. In this presentation, we're going to recognize Scouts and Scouters who have learned about their religion, their God, and serve Him. You will also hear from our keynote speaker. But first, our opening, the Scout Oath and Scout Law and Pledge of Allegiance. It will be led by Evelyn Taylor from Troop 42G. It meets at the Oak Ridge Presbyterian Church in Oak Ridge, Tennessee.
Scout salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2.
Thank you, Evelyn. She's a Star Scout with the all-girl troop. Members of PAC 220 will present the Scout Oath and Scout Law, led by Janiah Turner and Elijah Daggerman.
Scout sign, Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout Law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
Scout Law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Wow, quite an enthusiastic unit, wouldn't you agree? They meet weekly at Emerald Academy in Knoxville, Tennessee. The opening prayer is given by Venturer Scout Jaden Bryant. He's a member of Crew 701, which meets at Inskip United Methodist Church in Knoxville.
A Scout is reverent. Please prepare yourself for prayer in a manner which you are accustomed to. God, thank you for bringing people of all faiths together to help us celebrate this special occasion. Help us try our best in everything we do, and keep us faithful in you. We humbly thank you for our accomplishments and your guidance, and helping us meet our goals. Please bless everyone who is watching this today. Thank you for their time in working with Scouts of all ages. Help us continue to be trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Help us always be honorable and lead by an example in our daily lives. We ask for your blessings. Help us have wisdom and respect for each other. May we always give our best and help us make our world a better place, filled with peace and love. Amen.
Jaden is a junior at the L&N STEM Academy in Knoxville, and he's working on his Eagle project. In 2015, we unveiled the National Duty to God Award. Through 2019, recipients were honored for this recognition at the national annual meetings. Well, we're going to play catch-up and present this year's honorees and those from previous years. Bob Vogt is the Duty to God Award Subcommittee Chair. He's with the Greater St. Louis Area Council.
Thanks, Don. During our time apart due to COVID-19, we selected the class of 2020 and presented them their awards during our summer virtual interfaith event. This event had over 40 Zoom classes and recordings and can be found on YouTube for many of the classes. The National Duty to God Award is designed to recognize people that have dedicated at least 10 years of service at the national level across faith groups in an effort to serve youth. Nominations are accepted year-round and are due by February 28th of each year. A committee of past recipients then meets to determine the 4 recipients of that year's class. Please join us now in recognizing the 2020 class. Elder David Wilson from Orrin, Utah. Larry Gibson from Highland, Utah. David Stewart from St. Louis, Missouri. And Mary Boland from Phoenix City, Alabama. Congratulations to the 2020 class of the National Duty to God Award recipients. Our class of 2021 was selected last spring and presented in their local congregations or meaningful location to them. Please join us now in recognizing Jim Whitehead of Maumee, Ohio. Judy Miller from Bellevue, Washington. Thomas Martin from Pineville, Louisiana. And William Davies from St. Louis Park, Minnesota. Congratulations to the 2021 class of the National Duty to God Award recipients. This year, we are pleased to announce 4 new recipients of this distinguished national award. Their concentrated efforts toward duty to God are remarkable. We have asked that each recipient join us from around the country as they are presented with their medallion from a scout or scouter in their council. Our first recipient, the Most Reverend Daniel Collin, Bishop Emeritus of the Diocese of Joliet, Illinois, has been involved in scouting since his youth days when he rose to be a Life Scout and served on the summer camp staff. He is currently the liaison on behalf of the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops to the National Catholic Committee on Scouting. He has chaired the Bishops' Committee on Protection of Children and Young People. His love and passion for the Scouting program is without question and knows no bounds. He has served on the executive board of 4 councils. He has led 3 10-day St. George treks at Philmont, leading the Scout youth discerning religious life. He has served as a Catholic chaplain and a member of the Diocese Catholic Committee on Scouting in the diocese he has served. He has said that when he retires, he intends to go back to the scouting position that he felt had the greatest impact, that of a unit leader. He currently serves as Assistant Scoutmaster at St. Joseph Parish in Manhattan, Illinois. Bishop Conlon is a great ambassador for his council, scouting, and Catholic Church. He is a member of the Order Arrow and a recipient of the Silver Beaver Award. Congratulations, Bishop Conlon. The second recipient is Clarence E. Creighton Jr. from Fort Washington, Maryland. Clarence makes time, is always present, resourceful, and willing to offer assistance, advice, and vision. As a member of the African Methodist Episcopal Church, or the AME Church, Clarence has made a difference in thousands of lives. Clarence serves as the AME Connectional Director of Boy Scouts, where he is a representative and advisor in both national and international settings, always lifting up the concerns of young people using Scouting as an effective form of faith formation and leadership development for youth. In his 31 years in adult Scouting, he has served as a Cub Master, Scoutmaster, Council Commissioner, Deputy Director, and Director of Boy Scouts for the Association African Methodist Episcopal Scouters, and on his Council Executive Board. He currently serves on the National Religious Relationship Committee as Chair of the Methodist Subcommittee. He has run the AME booth at 6 national jamborees. He has received the District Award of Merit, the James E. West Award, and the Silver Beaver Award. His daughter was president of her venturing crew, and his son is an Eagle Scout. He is known to be passionate and committed to the work God has entrusted to his hands to do. Congratulations, Clarence. Our next recipient is Ed Milbranda from Westchester, Ohio. Ed is well known for being a steady Eddie who can always be relied upon to carry through and bring value and opportunity to every task, obstacle, and challenge faced by units and members alike. He worked with Father Edward Erb to develop a new supplement for the Episcopal Scouts for the Pray program. He brought about the Episcopal Brotherhood of St. Andrew, serving men and boys into the ministry of Scouting for the youth of the Episcopal Church, which brought about the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding with the BSA. Ed serves on the National Religious Relationship Committee representing the Episcopal Church. He serves as counsel on the Advancement Committee and has served on the NYLT staff. He has been a commissioner. Currently, he serves as Eagle Coordinator for 2 troops and has held numerous other unit-level positions. During his nearly 30 years as an adult Scouter, he has been recognized with the Distinguished Commissioner Award, the District Award of Merit, the Vigil Honor, and the Silver Beaver Award. As a chemical engineer, he holds 8 patents on the behalf of the Procter & Gamble Company. He has served on 2 National Jamboree staffs. He is a recipient of the Episcopal St. George Award. Congratulations, Ed. Our last recipient today is Ted Spangenberg Jr. from Chipley, Florida. Ted started his Scouting as a Cub Scout 60 years ago. Scouting is better because of his lifetime devotion to the program and his duty to God. He exemplifies servanthood, and his zeal for Scouting is truly refreshing. He is an Eagle Scout, part of 4 generations of Spangenberg Eagle Scouts, and a Vigil member of the Order of the Arrow. He has served as a Scoutmaster starting at the age of only 23. His service includes District Commissioner, Executive Council Board President, and Southern Region Executive Board. He currently serves on the BSA National Religious Relationship Committee as the chair of the Chaplaincy Subcommittee. He is a deacon in his local Baptist church and an ordained minister. He served for 7 years as the national president of the Association of Baptists for Scouting. He has served on numerous national jamboree staffs in such roles as Subcamp Chief and as Base Camp Chaplains Coordinator. He has served at Philmont as the course director for Baptist Scouting and the inaugural BSA Chaplaincy program. He has been recognized with the District Award of Merit, the Silver Beaver Award, the Silver Antelope Award, and the Baptist Silver Good Shepherd Award. Ted serves God with Scouting, with his family, with his church, in his community, and across the nation. Congratulations, Ted. We are pleased to recognize Bishop Conlon, Clarence Creighton Jr., Ed Milbranda, and Ted Spangenberg Jr. with the National Duty to God Award. Thank you, Scouters, for your outstanding leadership and service to Scouting. I now turn it over to Susan Lawyer, the National Religious Relationship Committee Training, Meetings, and Events Subcommittee Chair in Houston, Texas.
Thanks, Bob, and congratulations to all 3 classes of the National Duty to God Award recipients. As the Training Subcommittee Chair, our committee has been focused throughout COVID on continuing to train Scouting volunteers and professionals on faith topics. This past summer, groups gathered at Philmont to restore chapels throughout the property. This year's service project has been delayed due to the Philmont fires. We'd like to thank the hundreds of firefighters, emergency response personnel, and Philmont staff for their tireless efforts in containing the fire. This summer, several faith groups will be gathering at the Philmont Training Center and around the country to conduct conferences for their faith group volunteers in Scouting. Information about the PTC conferences can be found on their website. Spaces are still available for these programs. Today, we can announce that plans have begun to conduct an interfaith conference during the summer of 2024. During this week-long event, hundreds of volunteers from around the country are invited to join us for training and fellowship. We can expect registration to open for this program in the fall of 2023. During the week, participants will rotate between classrooms in a University of Scouting fashion. Each classroom will have interfaith topics or faith-specific sessions that participants can select from the list of choices. During meals, we will gather together for group discussions. There will also be traditional evening programs, service project opportunities, and programs for spouses and children. Details about this new program will be shared on Scouting channels once finalized. If you have any questions about training opportunities, please utilize our social media channels to reach out to us.
In this Duty to God report, we want you to know how Scouts have observed their duty to God. The chairman of the National Religious Relationships Committee is Bob Wettig. He lives in Sunnyvale, California, and is a member of the Silicon Valley Monterey Bay Council. Bob's an Eagle Scout and enjoys helping young Scouts earn their religious emblems. Bob Wettig now with the Duty to God Committee report.
Thank you, Don. I'd like to give some statistics on the number of religious emblems that were earned in 2021. But before I do that, I first want to congratulate this year's Duty to God Award recipients. I also want to congratulate the Scouters that earned their Duty to God Award in 2020 and 2021, who we've not been able to recognize until now. Thank you for your service and for your leadership in helping our Scouts get closer to their faith and practice the duty to God. Now in 2021, there were 10,041 religious emblems earned by Scouts from 43 faith-based organizations. Of those emblems, 7,249 were earned by Cub Scouts and 2,792 were earned by Scouts BSA and Venturers. Earning any religious emblem is a long faith journey that relies on the support of your counselor, your parents, and your fellow Scouts. Congratulations to all the Scouts that earned the religious emblems in 2021. Also, in 2021, 498 adult leaders received their religious recognitions. It's important to note that adult recognitions cannot be earned. They're only awarded based on exemplary service to their faith and Scouting. Congratulations to the adult leaders who earned their religious recognitions. Now at this time, I want to thank all the counselors who helped guide our youth in earning their religious emblems. It was only through your guidance that our youth were able to further explore their faith. Thank you for working with them and helping them to earn their religious emblems. I also want to thank all the council volunteers on the religious relationships committees for all their hard work in keeping good relations with our religious chartered partners and for helping promote the Religious Emblems program. The work you do allows us to provide Scouting to the youth of our faith-based organizations. Finally, I want to thank all the members of the National Religious Relationships Committee. This committee does many things. It helps to administer the Religious Emblems program. It oversees the chaplaincy at the High Adventure bases and the National Jamboree. It manages the annual Duty to God Award and Duty to God Breakfast at the National Annual Meeting. It helps support membership growth of Scouting in our faith-based organizations. It helps manage the religious-based trainings at Philmont, and it oversees the relationships of all of our religious chartered partners. I have the privilege to work with many high-quality, dedicated Scouters who work tirelessly to promote duty to God. Thank you again for all that you do to help our youth get closer to God. It's a pleasure working with you all.
Hi, my name is Sarah and I earned the Narratomian Religious Emblem for Judaism. One thing about this religious emblem is it helps me get more involved with my temple. My favorite part would be learning more about different Jewish holidays.
My religion in Scouting has allowed me to develop my core beliefs into Scouting in my everyday life.
Hi, I'm RJ. Hi, I'm Matthew. Scouting allowed us a safe place to explore other faiths besides ours. This helped us to understand the world around us.
The National Islamic Committee on Scouting established the Allahu Akbar God is Great Award to recognize outstanding service by adults and the promotion of Scouting among the Muslim youth. So you are one of them.
Thank you, Saeed. It's a great honor to be able to work with you and the Islamic Committee on growing the Scouting program. Wonderful to be with those Scouts in Dallas and see all of their excitement as they had joined Scouting. So thank you so much, and I look forward to what we can do in the future.
Thank you very much. I salute you.
Congratulations to all those who have earned religious emblems around the country this year. Right now, let's journey to St. Louis again, where Jason Nolan and Amanda Vogt join us from Beaumont Scout Reservation. Jason Nolan serves as the CEO of Pray Publications. He's also the subcommittee chair for religious emblems. Amanda Vogt serves as the social media and virtual events subcommittee chair for the National Religious Relationships Committee. Here's Amanda and Jason.
Thanks, Don. Throughout COVID-19, Scout and faith leaders from across the country have found creative ways to meet and keep Scouting going. This is true for the religious emblem programming as well. Over the last 2 years, pilot programs of virtual emblems have been developed for many faith groups. Local councils have stepped up to promote and deliver in-person programs. This past fall, a pilot of nationwide virtual Protestant emblems was delivered. We had more than 400 Scouts, parents, and clergy participate through Zoom.
This year, we are thrilled to announce that program is being expanded. The Protestant emblems of Jesus in me, God in family, God in church, and God in life will each have a Zoom class of over 400 students at each of the levels. Details on registering for these classes can be found at praypub.org, dutytogodbsa.org, and on BSA social media channels. Classes will be held on Sunday to fit between churches ending on the West Coast and youth group programs starting on the East Coast. Each level is going to be divided into subclasses of 8 to 10 students, and we're looking for help for counselors. In addition to the Protestant emblems being offered, several other faith groups are putting final touches onto their programs throughout the summer months to start in this fall. As we have details, they'll be released on all of those different channels as well.
These programs in no way eliminate the need for in-person connection and connectivity. It's still critically important that each Scout connect with their own faith, their clergy, and their congregation to complete the requirements. In-person sessions are still important. We expect the need for these to grow as more Scouts learn about religious emblem programming and how to connect it to their Scouting experience. If you have interest or curious about how to find out more information, talk to your local council's faith committee or the group that might administer them, such as your Catholic diocese or the United Methodist Conference in your area. Those folks and individuals can help you identify where programs are happening and how to get involved.
So help us to promote both these local programs and national virtual religious emblems programs, because after all, this is where the youth learn about the 12th point in the Scout Law: a Scout is reverent.
Thank you, Amanda, and thank you, Jason. Programs like they describe help reach Scouts in greater numbers and help young people strive to live by the Scout oath in doing their duty to God and country. We now move to the highlight of our Duty to God report. It's the keynote address. Our speaker today is no stranger to many of you, Charles Dahlquist. He's an attorney, a lifelong Scouter, and former Young Men General President for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Among his many Scouting positions, Charles was head chaplain and chair of Faith and Beliefs for several national and World Scout jamborees. He was the 10th National Commissioner of the BSA. He's currently a member of the National BSA Executive Board, as well as President and CEO of Vanguard International Scouting Association, an independent group serving Latter-day Saints in scouting worldwide. Here is Charles Dahlquist.
Abide with me, fast falls the eventide. The darkness deepens, Lord, with me abide. When other helpers fail and comforts flee, help of the helpless soul, abide with me. Swift to its close, swift to its close, and ebbs out life's little day. Earth's joys grow dim, its glories pass away. Change and decay, all around I see. Oh, thou who changest not, abide with me. Oh, thou who changest not, abide with me.
Thanks, Don, and thanks to my very talented friends in Eclipse for their music. Their message is my prayer this morning, that our Heavenly Father will abide with me and with each of us during this special hour. This has been a great meeting. Thanks to all who participated in and prepared for this wonderful report, and congratulations to our award recipients. Tom Brokaw was once quoted as saying, "In this country it's easy to make a buck, but it's tough to make a difference." Thanks to each of you for making such a profound difference in the lives of the rising generation, day after day after day. As a prelude to my comments, I recognize that these last few years have been tough as a pandemic has separated us physically and socially. While there's certainly a role for virtual meetings, I'm grateful that we're returning to live and personal interactions that will help us to rebuild relationships of trust that are so important in the work of strengthening and preparing the youth of today. Moreover, this time has been particularly tough for those of us in scouting, as we have suffered through a prolonged bankruptcy which has, at least temporarily, put a hitch in many of our abilities to grow scouting in this country. But as we're beginning to see a light at the end of the tunnel, we must be prepared to accelerate our ministering and utilize all the tools and resources of scouting to help our youth benefit from this wonderful, life-changing, character-building program. For those who say scouting has changed, I simply respond that, if so, it's only changed for the better, and our values as embodied in our mission and the Scout Oath and Law are as stable and relevant and vital today as they ever were, and more needed than ever. Moreover, in the past few years, we've seen some of our largest charter partners, particularly religious denominations, weaken or discontinue their charter partnership relationship with scouting for various reasons. While that's certainly concerning, a good many of our faith-based Scout units have moved to new charter partners that include PTAs and PTOs, neighborhood groups, businesses, and other community organizations. In our particular area, Rotary clubs have stepped up and provided wonderful support in sponsoring Scouting in their communities. For that, we are so grateful. And in Scouting, we know how to do that from our experience in moving from our governmental units to community units in the early years of the 21st century. As parents must now make decisions as to what activities will be the most beneficial for their children, in addition to full participation in their own religious services and programs, I suggest that of all the choices, nothing is more effective in reinforcing the values of their religious denomination, in providing tangible opportunities for character development and the acquiring of vital life skills than Scouting. However, in moving from faith-based to community-based charter partners, there's an inherent and potential danger. When Baden-Powell formed Scouting in 1907, and William Boyce did the same in this country in 1910, while the charter partnership relationship was not formalized as it is today in the Boy Scouts of America, there is one part of Scouting that was, from the very outset, very, very clear, and that's the role of religion in Scouting. When Baden-Powell was asked where religion comes into Scouting, he simply replied, "It doesn't come in at all. It is already there. It is a fundamental factor underlying Scouting." On another occasion, he observed, "There is no religious side of the movement. The whole of it is based on religion, that is, on the realization and service of God." As many of our units transition from faith-based units to community-based units, it is all the more important that duty to God and the religious base Baden-Powell spoke about continue to be emphasized and re-emphasized. And we can do that. Each of us has our religious awards and emblems to help focus our Scouts and their leaders on learning and practicing their duty to God and strengthening their faith and commitment to God and to their religious beliefs. We have our Scoutmaster's Minute at the end of each troop meeting to focus on the most important values of Scouting. We have the rank advancement requirements that include duty to God components. And then in the midst of all of that, we have the Scout Oath and Law emphasizing duty to God, and a Scout is reverent. In my view, never has there been a time in the history of Scouting when those religious emblems and the impact they have in the lives of our youth are more important than they are today. If our youth are to reach their potential, it is not enough for them to develop academic competency or even academic excellence and good life skills. They must also become men and women of faith and character. And I don't know any organization that provides all of those capabilities more effectively than Scouting. About 7 years ago, as we underwent some significant membership changes in the Boy Scouts of America, some asked, "Will duty to God be the next thing to go?" I was serving as National Commissioner at the time and was sitting next to BSA Chairman Randall Stevenson when he replied to that question as follows, quote, "Duty to God is part of who we are. That is one hill that we will die on. Mark my word." He then continued, "Duty to God is here to stay." Close quote. All I can say to that powerful reaffirmation of who we are is amen. In Christianity, the role of the shepherd is a prominent one, with Jesus Christ often being referred to as the Good Shepherd. In John chapter 10, verse 11, Jesus confirms, "I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep." But the impact of a shepherd is not limited to the New Testament or to Christianity. In the book of Ezekiel in the Old Testament, we read, "As a shepherd seeketh out his flock in the day that he is among his sheep that are scattered, so will I seek out my sheep, and will deliver them out of all places where they have been scattered in the cloudy and dark day." In the Islamic faith, the Prophet Muhammad taught, "Every one of you is a shepherd and is responsible for his flock." While I've never been a real shepherd herding sheep in the fields, I have been enamored with them since a boy, since my grandfather manufactured metal sheep wagons that are still to be seen throughout the western hills and meadows. Even more importantly, I've been the recipient of much ministering by the shepherds of my day. In my experience, I've come to understand that a shepherd is one who blesses his or her flock, as BP would have said, in any old way. I experienced a shepherd ministering just the other day. My wife has had some serious health issues in the past couple of weeks, and about 2 weeks ago I sent out an email apologizing to a group of scouters for not responding to an assignment as rapidly as I would have liked, explaining in general Zella's health issues. No sooner had I pressed send than I received a call from my friend Rabbi Peter Hyman in Easton, Maryland. He said, "Charles, I haven't read the rest of your email, but wanted to know how Zella is." After we talked for a moment, he said, "Charles, tell Zella that she will be in my prayers and that we will place her name on our congregation's temple prayer list this week during our Shabbat service." Now that is the work of a true shepherd. I have learned in working and serving closely with many of you in scouting that no denomination has a corner on goodness or kindness or the ministering and watch care work of shepherding. In scouting, we are all shepherds of those with whom we serve. And so today, in honor of each of you involved in scouting and shepherding and helping our youth learn their duty to God, may I share just 5 brief suggestions as to how we can be better shepherds to our flocks. In J.R.R. Tolkien's book, The Hobbit, as Gandalf is preparing to leave, he turns to Bilbo Baggins and his band of little hobbits and says, "Be good, take care of yourselves, and don't leave the path." So, my first suggestion today is to take care of yourselves. We have too many apparently successful men and women in our world who have lost their way and have become unbalanced and, quote, fallen giants. We also have many who serve valiantly without any thought of their own welfare, and sadly wake up one day with their spiritual bucket completely empty. You, as leaders of youth in this great movement, are so important that we can't afford to lose one. Take time to develop not only spiritual strength, but to care for your physical health, your mental and educational growth, and to take time for all-important healing social interaction. So, if you want to be a better shepherd, be good, take care of yourselves, and don't leave the path. Secondly, take advantage of each teaching moment. Often the most effective lessons are those that are unplanned. As a young unit commissioner years ago, I was tasked with directing a group of scouts and venturers as they canoed down the Potomac River. We had about 50 youth and 10 leaders. Last minute, one of the unit leaders in my own congregation dropped off 5 big, tough 15-year-old venturers and said, "Charles, I can't go on the trip, but these guys really wanted to go. Can you be their leader?" I looked at those boys and thought, how am I going to focus on the large group and their safety and still give these boys a good experience? But not wanting to disappoint the boys, I agreed. The first day was a long and grueling, but a fun day. As we lay on our sleeping bags on the shore of the Potomac that night, I was dead tired. I'd positioned my bag and that of my assistant on both ends of the bags of those 5 ventures as we lay under the stars with no tent. Just as I was beginning to drop off to sleep, one of the boys, about 3 bags down the line, as he looked up at the stars, asked a question about God and our purpose on the earth. Though bone weary, for the next 30 minutes, we had the most inspiring discussion about things of eternity that would be very hard to duplicate in any other setting. It was unplanned, but the setting was right, and fortunately, I was prepared to answer their questions and also teach with some questions of my own. Many of our most effective teaching moments will be unplanned and often inconvenient. But if we are prepared to teach, often the windows of heaven open to give us the inspiration we need to touch the hearts of those we teach. But we must be prepared. 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine indicated that they were on a camp out with their troop. They were sitting around the campfire as it became time to retire. It was just the right time for a soothing and inspiring and reverent song. So my friend, who's the committee chair of that troop, mentioned that to the scoutmaster. My friend then said, "Do you know the song On My Honor?" His friend didn't. Neither did my friend, at least well enough to teach his scouts. The scoutmaster then said, "What about Scout Vespers?" Neither of them knew all of the words well enough to teach it. So they extinguished the fire and went to bed, having missed a wonderful opportunity to teach and touch the hearts of the boys around that campfire through music. As I heard the story, I was tempted to say to my friend, "Look, if you ever get in that bind again, get me on your cell phone, put it on speaker, and I'll take over the music duties." Instead, I took the opportunity to teach my good friend that each leader needs to be prepared for the teaching moment with at least a scout story, a song, a poem, an activity, and a spiritual scoutmaster's minute. Better still, never go to a scouting activity without a small pocket-sized notebook that includes a list of 5 of each of these instant preparation tools. So, if you want to be a better shepherd, be prepared and take advantage of each teaching moment, even if it's inconvenient. Third, look for opportunities to build faith in God in each of your scouts, whether you refer to Him as God, Jesus Christ, Jehovah, or Allah. One day, each of our scouts will have to stand on his or her own 2 feet without parents or leaders present and make decisions that will impact many generations. At that time, that decision will depend on how deeply the roots of faith and character values are in that individual scout. And I don't know any better way to build faith in our youth than by personal example, providing testimony of things of eternity and helping them work on their religious awards. So, if you want to be a better shepherd, look for opportunities to build faith and character in the lives of your scouts. Fourth, show your scouts by your actions that you believe in them and have confidence in them, and then let them lead. When they look into our eyes and listen to our words, they must know that we believe in them and have confidence in their ability to make a difference in the world around them through exercise of their talents and abilities. I have a mirror on the wall of the scout room here in our cabin that says, "I believe in you." I know the lift that gives me on difficult days, and our youth need that as well. We all need to know that we're loved and that someone has confidence in us. You are the mirror of confidence and support for your youth. Look for opportunities not only to challenge your scouts, but to compliment them. Watch for them doing good things and then give them a compliment, a sincere compliment. While the world around them is beating them down with low expectations and criticism, we must look for opportunities to build them and help them develop confidence in themselves by doing hard things. And then we must give them opportunities to lead and grow. For years, I've heard the explanation that a sheep herder drives the sheep from the back, but that a shepherd leads from the front, and his sheep follow. Although that made some sense to me, there was just something that was missing in that definition. Years ago, I hiked a mount called Hercules in Kassel, Germany. As I reached the top, I was surprised to see a shepherd with his walking stick and his sheep at the top. I thought, this is my opportunity to find the answer. I walked over to him and asked, "When you move the sheep, do you go at the head of the flock or the end?" He looked at me and at his flock, and then he said, "Es kommt darauf an. It depends." He continued, "If we are going somewhere they have been before, they go and I follow. But if we are going somewhere they have never been, I lead and they follow." What a wonderful principle for shepherding and servant leadership. So, if you want to be a better shepherd, let your youth know that you trust them and have confidence in their abilities, and then give them opportunities to lead and grow. My final suggestion is to always remember that we are all children of a kind Heavenly Father whom we reverence as God or Father or Allah or Jehovah. This is His work, and we are His tools to bring about the teaching and preparation of the rising generation. They too are his children, and this is his work, to bring to pass the immortality and eternal life of man. So, if you want to be a better shepherd, be good, take care of yourself, and don't leave the path. Take advantage of each teaching moment. Look for opportunities to build faith and character in your scouts and the adults with whom you serve. Show your scouts by your words and actions that you have confidence in them, and then give them opportunities to lead. And finally, help your scouts to always remember that they are sons and daughters of God with divinely created talents and a divine purpose. I close today with a song written and originally recorded in the 60s by Glenn Campbell, then by the Statler Brothers, and finally by the Kingston Trio, that reminds us of our shepherding responsibility, and which I originally shared at the 2018 National Silver Buffalo Award Banquet. Let me be a little kinder, let me be a little blinder to the faults of those about me, let me praise a little more. Let me be, when I am weary, just a little bit more cheery, think a little more of others and a little less of me. Let me be a little braver when temptation bids me waver. Let me serve a little better those that I am striving for. Let me be a little meeker with the brother that is weaker. Let me think more of my neighbor and a little less of me. Let me be, when I am weary, just a little bit more cheery. Let me strive a little harder to be all that I should be. Let me be a little meeker with the brother that is weaker. Think a little more of others and a little less of me. May God bless each of us as we do His work, as we strive to be true under-shepherds and prepare our scouts for the challenges ahead, and in the end, lead His lambs back to Him. May God bless each of you, and may God bless the Boy Scouts of America. Thank you.
Hi, this is Scott Sorrells. It's my honor to serve as the National Commissioner. I wanted to take a moment to thank Charles for his comments, for his strong message of faith, and for his servant leadership, both in his role as former National Commissioner and so many other roles in Scouting. I agree with Charles that the message in the Scout Oath, in terms of our duty to God and being reverent in the Scout law, are more important now than they ever have been. We know we have a program that positively changes lives. Now we just need to get out and ask more American families to come join us on the Scouting journey. Thank you for all you do for Scouting. God bless.
Charles' message was right on the money, wasn't it? We thank him and present National Commissioner Scott Sorrells. With the reorganization of Scouting, there are now 16 territories, making the BSA more compact and efficient. The membership chair of the National Religious Relationships Committee is Clarence Creighton. Clarence wants you to know about the National Service Territory Liaison Program.
Good morning. My name is Clarence Creighton. I'm the membership chair for the BSA Religious Relationship Committee. And today we'll be rolling out our Membership Liaisons Program. The Membership Committee has developed the Liaisons Program. This program will work with the territory membership leads and the council membership committees that they represent. The Membership Liaisons will represent the National Religious Relations Committee and will serve as a resource for the National Service Territory Membership Lead and their council membership committees to enable better connection and communications with current and potential faith-based chartered partners to increase membership and grow Scouting. Our goals are simple: increase membership, grow Scouting, establish a relationship with the NST membership leads and the council and their councils they serve, facilitate communications connections, and with current and potential faith-based partners. We will serve all 16 territories. In April of 2022, the youth membership in BSA was 786,644 youth, half of what we were a decade ago. The liaisons is to locate and connect a council with a faith governing body, not to a specific church, synagogue, or mosque. We will research and understand the mechanics of the faith and the hierarchy and how to address the leadership of that faith. A liaisons will connect the council with the organization lead of the faith that they're interested in. That is our job. We will not, that liaisons is representing BSA and not their faith. A liaisons must serve as an advisor to the faith organization leadership because there's a chance they may not be familiar with all that BSA has to offer. We will be working with Jim Marchbank and the 38 religious faiths that he has already made contact with to be able to serve our councils. We expect that number to grow because we expect our councils not only to tap these resources, but also we will be willing to work with them and tap new faith-based services. Our liaisons will work with the NST membership leads. We will work with the councils. We will listen to what the council is asking. Are they asking that they want to create a new relationship or strengthen an existing relationship? And we're going to be there to help. We will review with them the religious relations list of faith-based contacts that we already have. We'll be willing to research new faith-based contacts. We should be able to do our job in about 7 to 10 working days. The liaisons will connect the religious organization head with the council membership lead via phone or email or Zoom. At that time, our liaisons will step back and leave the membership lead to meet with the needs of their new faith organization contact. In approximately 3 weeks, our liaisons will come back and do a health check with the council's membership lead and the religious organization contact. If we need additional help from our relationships committees members, you, in other words, we will be calling on you. I can't leave this call without making a push for each council membership chair to have a religious relationship committee. The purpose of a religious relationship committee is to help scout and expand opportunities for youth, children, adults, and families within their council and to grow scouting. We hope that this program will be of assistance and that you will be able to call on us to help grow scouting. Thank you.
Thank you, Clarence, for your dedication. As we close our Duty to God report, Emma Barber will lead our benediction. She is the chaplain's aide for Troop 42G. Emma is a 6th grader at Robertsville Middle School in Oak Ridge, Tennessee.
A scout is reverent. Please prepare yourself in prayer for the manner you are accustomed. Thank you for your Duty to God report and for those who made it possible. We also thank you for the opportunity to be involved in scouting, for all the adults who made it possible. Help us grow each day in our understanding of what it means to do our duty to you. We ask these things in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you so much, Emma. Very well done. The Scout Oath begins with duty to God, and the Scout Law ends with the Scout's obligation to be reverent. As a Scout leader, in whatever capacity you hold, do your best to encourage Scouts to seek their Creator's wisdom through prayer, which helps set their moral compass so they can do the best for themselves and be of service to others. That's your challenge. Thank you for joining us and for what you do for Scouting. But don't go away yet. Please enjoy Eclipse 6 and also see some upcoming events as we close this Duty to God report. I'm Don Dare.
Be still, my soul, the Lord is on thy side. With patience bear thy cross of grief for pain. thy God to order and provide. In every change, he faithful will remain. Be still, my soul, thy best, thy heavenly friend. Through thorny ways leads to a joyful end. Be still, my soul, thy God doth undertake to guide the future as he has the past. Thy hope, thy confidence, let nothing shake. All thou mysterious shall be bright at last. Be still, my soul, the waves and winds still know his voice who ruled them while he dwelt below. Be still, my soul, the hour is hastening on, when we shall be forever with the Lord, when disappointment, grief, and fear are gone, sorrow forgot, love's purest joys restored. Be still, my soul, when change and tears are past. All safe and blessed, all safe, and we shall meet at last. Be still, we shall meet at last. Be still, we shall meet at last. Be still, be still, be still.
Their spiritual character is developed by their being brought face to face with the wonders and beauties of nature.
A scout is reverent, the 12th point in the Scout Law. You know, there's different ways that we can approach this concept of reverence, but in its most basic, to revere is to stand maybe in awe of what we encounter. My name is Father Roger Lopez. I'm a Franciscan friar, and I serve as a Philmont chaplain, and I've been coming to Philmont since 2016. When someone comes out here to Philmont, there's no doubt that they're struck by the beauty that exists out here. But trying to identify, like, why does it strike? Why does it touch within the heart? A scout is reverent means to stop and recognize that awesomeness, that wonder, and to realize that it's not me. It's much greater than that. And maybe in that, to say thank you. To say thank you that this has been a gift of right now, right here. And that wonder is what reverence is all about for a scout.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. On behalf of the Islamic Council on Scouting of North America and its subsidiary, the National Islamic Committee, Boy Scouts of America, are happy to support growing national membership picture in the Boy Scouts of America. The National Islamic Committee would like to commit ongoing support of relationship, not only for supporting Muslim Scouts, but offering the use of the program to increase youth across America. Within the Muslim community, it is believed that youth is the most important period of life. This is the time in which opinion, habits, and belief are formed, and it is important for the time to be spent in personal development. Friendship formed in youth often form the basis of an adult Muslim social life. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is quoted as saying, "A person follows the deen of his close friend. Therefore, let each of you look carefully to whom he chooses for friends." Young Muslims are encouraged to form friendship with non-Muslims as it can strengthen their own faith. With fellow Muslims, youth are urged to form a brotherhood of shared faith, to be always nurtured, not just in crisis. They should be faithful, kind, generous, and loving friends. As charter partner, we have seen the program of the Boy Scouts are a wonderful way to see these ideas become reality, and is based on Quran and tradition of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. For more than 40 years, the National Islamic Committee has supported the development and expansion of scouting to understand market. Today, the time is right, now than ever before, to recommit and work together to serve increasing youth in scouting. We stand together in brotherhood with all the other national relationship committee to enhance what we can all can offer the youth of today for a brighter and brighter future tomorrow. We stand as an ambassador to make bridges with Islamic communities and organizations who look forward to positive enhancement to the lives of young people. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Have a wonderful day.
The Association of Baptists for Scouting was a dream, then a reality accomplished by Joe C. Carrington Sr. of Texas. He was the only son and eldest of 6 children born to E. Carrington, a Baptist preacher. After almost losing his arm in an accident, Carrington's can-do spirit propelled him from working in rail yards to serving 2 terms in the Texas legislature. His servant's heart for youth and missions in his church showed him that scouting was good for youth and for families. Carrington shared his vision with a young field executive in the Capital Area Council by the name of Jim Tarr. They began promoting duty to God and country in Baptist churches throughout Texas. that program inspired churches to reach beyond their own youth. By November of 1954, Carrington, along with Gerald Williams and W.L. Schwantz, had signed the Articles of Incorporation for the new Association of Baptists for Scouting, ABS. Through the decades, ABS has sent letters of congratulations to thousands of Eagle Scouts and Summit venturers. ABS has staffed exhibits and provided chaplains at many local, regional, and national events, including jamborees. Scouts and Scouters alike have received scholarships to attend jamborees and Philmont Training Center. ABS was a charter financial supporter for providing New Testaments to be given freely to any Scout or Scouter at all 4 high adventure bases. Baptists have also helped to refurbish chapels at Cimarroncito and Peniel backcountry camps at Philmont Scout Ranch. For 68 years, the Association of Baptists for Scouting has continued proclaiming duty to God and fostering the vision, goals, and ideals of Scouting that so closely align with Baptist missions. Joe Carrington's dream became action and shows that we can accomplish much together. Today's youth, tomorrow's leaders, deserve our support.
Some people say the world is too dangerous, the storms too fierce, and the powers of darkness too strong.
They don't see God's light.
The Scout's first duty is to God, recognizing that He is the one Father of us all.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God.
There is no religious side of the Scouting movement. The whole of it is based on God. Our objective is bringing about God's kingdom on earth.
It's not just about setting goals to improve myself. It's about making a difference.
Keep these higher aims in the forefront and don't let yourselves get too absorbed in the steps.
As a Scout, I'm doing my duty to God, and that's how I become the person I want to be. We already know the world can be dark and sometimes even stormy, but Jesus Christ is the light of the world. By His light, and with Scouting's help, I'm becoming a beacon. I'm becoming a light in this world too.
The Boy Scouts of America provides a program for young people that builds character, trains them in the responsibilities of participating citizenship, and develops personal fitness. In addition, the program emphasizes reverence and duty to God. For the next few minutes, we'll explore how becoming a chartered organization for Scouting can greatly benefit your synagogue.
As a rabbi, speaking to synagogue leadership and other rabbis, dealing with the question of why embrace and develop a Scouting program in your synagogue. The answer for me is quite simple. First, as a rabbi, I'm looking for ways to engage families, both families that affiliate as well as unaffiliated families, and bring them into the synagogue. The more options I have for youth as well as for parental participation, the broader my palette, the more engaging I can be. Second of all, Scouting is the finest informal educational system in the world. Scouting is a wonderful platform to teach the tenets of faith, to teach how in America we meld faith and service and do it not with just toleration, but do it with respect and appreciation in terms of engagement and a platform to teach both principles of the faith as well as how that integrates in modern American society. That's right here. It's a complete package.
Part of the value for synagogues in becoming a chartered organization for Scouting lies in the Boy Scouts' strong emphasis on duty to God. One example, the Religious Emblems Program, which helps youth grow in their faith.
Scouting has a platform built on key principles. One of the principles of that platform is duty to God. Baden-Powell never said, this is how you will serve God, meaning religion-specific requirements. He said if you're going to be a good scout, and ultimately if that's going to translate into being a good human being, acknowledging the transcendent, responding to God, is a component of a well-developed, healthy, secure young person.
A number of years ago, we were camping at Camp New Fork up in Wyoming, and we're watching all these shooting stars suddenly start happening. And while we're laying there, I just casually mentioned to the boys about, hey, just think about all those stars. Where did they come from? How did they come to be? How were they made? Next thing you know, the boys are talking amongst themselves as to creation and God and the purpose of life. And we had one boy there who did not have a faith. And the boys were then teaching him. He was asking questions, and I was totally silent while they were teaching each other.
The important thing is that we come together as a united Jewish community.
There is nothing that is mutually exclusive between Scouting and Judaism, irrespective of the level of ritual participation and commitment that a Scout has. You can be Reform, Conservative, Orthodox, and be Scouts and be Jewish at Scout Camp, be Jewish at a Jamboree, without ever compromising either the principles of Scouting or the principles of Judaism.
Scouting and faith form an inseparable bond. Those synagogues serving as chartered organizations can attest to how Scouting supports exactly the values you desire to instill in your youth as they move into adulthood. Your local Scouting professional can help you with the details and responsibilities of becoming a chartered organization. Please consider carefully the benefits of Scouting. Together, let's keep building tomorrow's great leaders and responsible citizens.